When you were in New York, did you ever take the subway?
No.
The entire cast team took the subway
Yeah,
earlier this season.
You get robbed on those things.
What's the most disgusting thing during your time in New York City that you saw on the subway?
I mean, projectile vomiting, people pissing, shit in the middle of the train car. Used Tide condoms on the subway.
Wait, whoa.
Yeah.
Have you seen a dead body, though?
People having sex sometimes.
Wow.
Everything in the subway.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, fights, breakups. Yeah, guys, yeah. Of course.
Yeah, you seen...
Back off on the train?
All the time.
What?
It's like creepers just staring at women.
Yeah.
Like,
What?
Or guys rubbing...
And now why would I want to... like that?
Welcome back to Out of Bounds. I'm Pierce Simpson. On today's episode, we're going to explore why fellow NBA players around the league have a disdain for Steph Curry, and of course, President Trump's recent news about uninviting the Philadelphia Eagles to the White House. But before we get into all that, I'm joined here by Complex Sports editor Mr. Adam Caparell, or AKA Suge Knight, with the plaid red you got on right there, brother. How you banging out here? You came out to LA.
I'm watching my steps there in the streets.
Okay. Gil, is he gang banging? Is that what happened? No,
he's cool.
Because you from out here, so he good.
Yeah, he good.
So nobody gonna ask him neighborhood.
No, they're going to do that.
They're gonna do that anyway, right? Gil, before we get into this, just the overview. What you think about this Steph Curry story that people may not like him? What you buying it? Not buying it? What you?
It's true.
Okay. We'll explore that a bit more. But again, fresh after Stephen Curry set an NBA Finals record for nailing 9 3-pointers in one game in Game 2. He had a little skirmish with Kendrick Perkins on the sideline, and of course, it brought back the tried and true story of NBA players not liking Steph Curry. This all comes from Marcus Thompson's book, who writes for The Athletic. The title of the book was Golden, The Miraculous Rise of Steph Curry, and some of the biggest NBA stars, including LeBron James, having a problem with Steph Curry. Some of those other players that have a problem with Steph include Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant before KD joined the Golden State Warriors. And one quote that captured our attention from Marcus Thompson in the book, it was quoted as saying, "I think if you ask them, and they were being honest, they don't like all the hype he gets, and they have to direct it that way. But LeBron and them, I think they will say, man, I like Steph. We have a conversation, but there's something that burns them about the fact that Steph is one that is exalted, and because of that, they want him to go and, in fact, kind of demean his hype. They want to take him down." So, obviously, back in the 2016 NBA Finals, LeBron James was seen blocking Stephen Curry and talking trash to him afterwards. We also have the moment in Game 1 of this year's NBA Finals where LeBron pins Stephen Curry's layup, and they get into a little altercation, have some words, and LeBron kind of pushes him to the side. And LeBron trolled the Golden State Warriors during the Halloween party last year, which had the Tombstone cookies and the 3-1 lead in there. So, Gil, the question I have to you, first and foremost, what do you think it is about Steph Curry that rubs players the wrong way?
They don't think he didn't, it feels like he didn't earn the reputation he has.
What do you mean by earn?
You know, he gets drafted in 2009. Mm-hmm. From 2009 to 2013, he was just, in everyone's mind, he's a decent player. You know, he made one All-Star in 2013-14. Mm-hmm. You know, he was okay. The 2014-15 season, he had a better year the year before, averaging 24-8. The championship, his first championship, 23-7. So he didn't have as good of. So
but that was his MVP year, right?
That was his first MVP year, which, because of the success of the team, you know, everyone was riding Steph's coattail.
Yeah.
Which all the players voted James Harden as the MVP that year because he averaged 27-7. Dwight Howard missed damn near all of the season. Beverly missed all the season. And he got that team to number 2 with 2 starters gone. So, you know, people felt like, you know, why are you favoring, you know, Steph? But at that time, you had a clean-cut organization, clean-cut players. Players that didn't have no tats. They didn't even have a personality. No one even knew if Klay Thompson or Curry actually spoke English. You know, because let's be real.
Klay barely speaks, so yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. But no one heard anything. You just got 2 light-skinned guys out there just splashing the shit out of, you know. So the hype came, and he just came from nowhere to just, boom, in your face as MVP.
And there's been statements, and Marcus Thompson in his book alluded to Stephen Curry kind of skirting by any type of criticisms that may come his way that other players get often. Do you think that's what the case is?
Because of the success.
Yeah.
And I think that's what kind of sits people back and shuts them up. Because it's like, how is he a point guard, which is my complaint, how is he a pure point guard if he doesn't lead his team in assists? What's the difference between every guard that came before him that averaged 30 and 5 assists, 30 and 6 assists? We were ball hogs.
Right.
So how is he getting the pass as this point guard, top 5 point guard of all time? Oh, it's the championships. If you win, the rest of that shit goes out of the window.
Do you feel slighted in that way? Because, I mean, you were that type of player.
No, I mean, but that's the game. You know, no one's going to say nothing about you shooting all your shots if you're winning games.
Right.
So he came back the following year, averaged 30, bust everyone's ass, back-to-back champion.
True.
At that point, there's really nothing you can say bad about him because he changed. He changed the narrative for everyone.
Yeah.
You know, before it was guards that shot more than they passed.
Yeah.
We're ball hogs. Now they're champions.
Yeah. Cap, Stephen Curry, he gets labeled as this humble superstar, and rightfully so in many ways, but he's not afraid to talk a little trash like we saw him and LeBron James get into it in Game 1. Game 2, he got into it with Kendrick Perkins, and he's had a long list of trash-talking things that he said to the Cavs, like back after their 2015 NBA title. He said, I hope the locker room still smells like champagne. Obviously, they won the NBA Finals in 2015 in Cleveland. What do you think it is that rubs people the wrong way when it comes to Stephen Curry?
And there's a lot. We could list out a ton.
Is it the antics?
You talk about, the antics, for you said this before we came on, it's like there's an arrogance with Steph that I think a lot of people don't readily kind of view or recognize.
Yep.
But when we see him shimmying and shaking after these stupid 3-pointers that he hits from that he has no business making, and just, being overly, with aggressive is not the wrong word to say, but just being overly over the top with what he's doing and dancing and all this other stuff. I would imagine that rubs guys the wrong way. And the fact that he is not an elite athlete, has attained a superstar status where he can't jump out of the gym the way LeBron can.
Right.
But he can splash down these stupid 3-pointers that, again, has no business making and shimmy, shakes, and does all these things over the top. And no one in the media criticizes him for him. But if LeBron did the same thing, he would be ruined to to levels, and other guys too. So I think that goes into that there's almost, not to say that Steph is two-faced, but there's like two sides to him to a degree, and the media, in the most part, kind of ignores some of the antics on the court and focus on that he's this good guy, this family guy, all this other stuff. But you know what? He does some stupid shit on the court that he should get clowned for.
Absolutely.
But that's what makes him great and makes his swag untouchable, is because his antics.
Yeah.
The antics on the court is just his personality on the court. That's not his personality off the court. They're two different people.
True.
So his on the court, his Superman-like play is his arrogance. That's what makes him hit shots. That's what he thrives off of. And I used to do it too. And that's what made me if I hit a shot in your face, don't look at me with a stupid face. Go watch TV. That's what I do. That's what makes him great. As a guard, and Russell does it a lot. And when they be like, you got to guard Steph tonight. Who? And he throws that who in there because there's this big old, unspoken thing in the NBA that is Steph Curry a great scorer on his position?
What do you mean by that?
Steph, if you ever look at most of his shots, they're never on the guy who actually guards him.
It's usually on the 5.
It's on the 5 or the 4 man. So he gets the guy who's sticking him off of him, and he beats on the 5 and the 4 man, which we played 1-4 flat. I'm going against the guy who's in front of me. I don't need to sit here and put Shaq on me and sit here and dance with Shaq all day. Because there was no switching back then. There was no switching 1-4 pick and roll, 1-5 pick and rolls. So now some of the guards is like, he's busting everybody's ass but mine's. He when I go at him, he hides. So it's one of those things as a competitor. It's like, he has 40 tonight. I'm George Hill, but he only had 2 points on me. Yeah. He's scoring on Thompson and
Love.
It's very easy to put Larry Nance on skates. It doesn't take much.
And Larry Nance is like, but I'm looking like I can't guard this man, but he's never going one-on-one against me. He's hurry up and getting me off. So it's like, as a guard, you're like, come on, I can shut him down if he didn't do no pick and rolls.
And also, a great point you brought up to us numerous times. Steph is a front-running scorer.
Yeah.
And I didn't really think about that until you brought that up, maybe weeks or months ago. But maybe that also pisses off guys too, where it's like he's not a come-from-behind scorer going to lead his team from behind. He's a guy that kind of compiles big time when the numbers are in the Warriors' advantage and just makes the lead bigger and bigger. So maybe that pisses off guys too.
If you look at if you watch his scoring, you if I'm the coach And I'm saying, okay, if we're up 10, 15, we're not going to double Curry. Just let him go. Don't focus on him. Focus on Clay, because Clay is going to take those shots.
Yeah.
Steph is not going to take those shots. Once that lead gets to, it's like they cut it down to 2, 3.
Now he's gunning again.
He's going to shoot every shot. He's going to shoot the shot that ties it. He's going to shoot the shot to put him up 3. He's going to shoot the shot to put him up 6, 5. And then it's like he gets his superpower from everyone else on that court. So if you're a coach, you have to pay attention to that. When that score starts to get around 2, they're down 1, they're down 2, I would trap this shit out of him, because it's like his skill set just jumps up 3 notches. Like when his team is down 15, he's not playing hero ball. He is not coming down taking those shots. When they get down 2 to 3, Steph is coming. And that's when you have to focus on him, because it's like he's playing. There's going to be heat checks.
NBA Jam.
But it's heat, like he can go like 8 minutes without actually taking a shot.
Yeah.
But something about down 2, down 1, he's on flames.
Yeah, I listen.
Like, so if you ever see his shooting, you can see, just look at the score. It's that crowd. As soon as I hit it, we go up. Boom. Everyone's, here we go.
Listen.
Then
that's what makes the Warriors so special. It's usually those third quarter runs where Stephen Curry goes off. And like you mentioned about Big switching on him, most of Stephen Curry's highlights that we've seen is him putting Rudy Gobert in a spin cycle, him putting Kevin Love in a spin cycle, and Tristan Thompson and Larry Nance, like you mentioned. But you can't knock him for that.
You can't hate it. He has a skill set, and he plays it to the best of his ability. If you don't like what he's doing, stop him.
Now, of course, we're in our 4th consecutive year that we have a matchup between the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA Finals. Does it seem like the media itself, is trying to create this rivalry between LeBron James and Stephen Curry? Do you think that's a warranted rivalry? Because they're different ages. It's like, is that a real rivalry?
I mean, are they that? I mean, one is 30, one's 33, so they're right there. I mean, okay. the bigger rivalry is either LeBron and KD, but because Steph is having a good first 2 games so far, they want to put him in that mix, and that's why so much hype is going on now. But the real guys you're really paying attention to, and that's unfortunate, is KD and LeBron, and that's the sad part is like
what makes it unfortunate, yeah.
You have KD and LeBron, and then you got a back-to-back MVP who is second fiddle.
Yeah.
You have no fucking chance. And that's the sad part. You have a guy who is basically taking a back seat, who's a back-to-back MVP.
First unanimous in MVP.
And could have been a 3rd-time MVP if KD didn't go there, because there was nothing stopping him.
Yeah, sure. It's a very fair point, Kevin. I'm going to toss the same question to you. Do you think this is a media-driven rivalry between Stephen Curry and LeBron James?
I think it's the easy narrative to make, and I think not obviously, but I think Steph is more of a face of the NBA than KD is. Even though you can say that KD is the second best player behind LeBron right now, Steph has much more commercials and much more commercial appeal than KD definitely does. So it's easy for the media to portray the 2 most popular players in the NBA who have gone at it for now 4 finals in a row as natural rivals. I don't really buy it, even though we've seen them enjoy each other a number of times. I'm not saying it's manufactured on their end and not totally manufactured on the media's end, but I just think it's the easiest one to make.
Yeah, and also this quick question before we move on. How much of the rivalry or disdain that players around the league have for Stephen Curry is the fact that he did grow up very affluent? His dad is a former NBA player and great shooter, and Dale Curry. How much do you think the fact that some of these players grew up in tough? Nobody thinks about that?
No one cares, because you have to earn your stripes.
Yeah.
He doesn't earn his stripes over his daddy. Yeah. He earns his stripes himself. It was just one of those things. Is when Westbrook says, "How is this guy better than me?" If you take our stats together, put them together.
Yeah.
He's a 5-time All-Star. I'm a 9-time, a 7, 8-time All-Star. My stats are trumping his. So why you guys keep putting this man in front of me? Yeah. The success came and it skyrocketed. It just skyrocketed, and it was just, it's one of those things that. Yeah. Hard work, healthy, the right coach, the right team, and he took off. You can't blame him for busting that ass.
No, you can't call lightning in the bottle. I mean, you really can't. You can't.
I mean, it's like, and then it's like he's still here. It's not like he faded. Because I remember one year when he was shooting lights out, and I'm like, how does he get better?
Yeah.
He's already shooting perfect. How does Well, he just shoots more.
Exactly.
Average 30. Like, okay, that's how you.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
I'm mad at it.
Get your ass in the gym like he buys
Exactly.
yesterday.
Yeah. 500 shots a day.
Yeah, that shit.
All right, switching over to football, have to talk about Trump disinviting the Eagles to a White House Super Bowl celebration because the entire team wasn't going to attend. We'll discuss in the pull-up. All right, so in a statement released, the Clown-in-Chief had this to say, quote, "The Philadelphia Eagles are unable to come to the White House with their full team to be celebrated tomorrow. They disagree with their president because he insists that they proudly stand for the national anthem, hand on heart, in honor of the great men and women of our military and the people of our country. The Eagles want to send a smaller delegation, but the 1,000 fans planning to attend the event deserve better." Unquote. Trump also said the Eagles fans are still welcome to come and partake in, quote, "a different kind of ceremony," whatever that is, and that, quote, "they will honor our great country, pay tribute to the heroes who fight to protect it, and loudly and proudly play the national anthem," unquote. Obviously, Trump pulled the same stunt back with the Warriors last year and getting himself into hot water with more nonsense with the NFL, obviously in the wake of the national anthem policy that came out last week. And obviously, Eagles fired back. A few of them had some pointed things to say towards Trump's direction, starting first and foremost with Eagle safety Malcolm Jenkins, who obviously has been very vocal about his disdain for Trump and the recent national anthem policy. He said this about the White House ceremony that was canceled, quote, "I don't want to take away from anybody's experience or make it a big distraction. It's a celebratory event, and I want the guys who choose to go or whatever to enjoy that. Me personally, because it's not a meeting or a sit-down or anything like that, I'm just not interested in the photo op. If you want to meet to talk about events in my community, changing the country, I'm all for that." Former Eagles wide receiver Torrey Smith, who tweeted out this response to the news, quote, "So many lies, shaking my head. Here are some facts. 1, not many people were going to go. 2, no one refused to go simply because Trump insists folks stand for the anthem. And 3, the president continues to spread the false narrative that players are anti-military." He wrapped it all up by saying this: "There are a lot of people on the team that have plenty of different views. The men and women that want to go should have been able to go. It's a cowardly act to cancel the celebration because the majority of the people don't want to see you. To make it about the anthem is foolish." So a lot to unpack there. You laughed a few times. Gil, we'll start off with this question. How should the Eagles and their players feel about what Trump said, and what should their response be?
They should have known this was coming.
Of course, yes.
That's his narrative. He's going to switch the narrative. You don't want to come, I'm going to uninvite you. Yeah. It's like, yo, I'm not going to come to the party today. Yeah. Then he tells everybody, hey, I didn't invite his ass anyway.
Right.
You know, so that's Trump's thing. You can't win. You can't beat him at his own game. And that's who he is, and that's who he's going to always be. So you don't want to go, he's going to publicly uninvite you.
The NFL at this point should feel stupid, right? It's one of the most powerful organizations.
Every week it should feel stupid.
Corporations in America. So the fact that, not America, the world globally. So the fact that they created this anthem policy that went a couple weeks ago, thinking that it will kind of quell everything and hopefully get President Trump to stop talking about the national anthem. Guess what he does? Disinvites the Philadelphia Eagles and everything else. And now we have another story about the national anthem. And the Philadelphia Eagles, nobody kneeled for the anthem until November, when Malcolm Jenkins put his fist up to kind of raise awareness to racial injustice, where Chris Long put his arm around him. But the only other player to kneel during that was in preseason, and that guy got cut. So throughout the entire season, the Philadelphia Eagles players stood up. So the fact that you're disinviting a team that stood up and represented the national anthem like you wanted.
He didn't technically. They wasn't going.
Of course.
So to make himself feel good.
Yeah.
You're not invited anyway.
Breaking news, water is wet, Pope is Catholic, and Trump made this about himself. Yeah, it's just like death, taxes, and Trump making it about himself.
But that's at this point. It's a game to him.
Of course, but we have to know that these 31 NFL owners care about optics and care about,
But you can't, come on. But you already knew this was going to happen. This is what he does. Either you're going to come and make me look good, or I'm going to invite you and make me look good. Either way, he wins.
I wonder if it would piss off, in terms of how they should have responded. I almost wonder, if it would piss off Trump more if the guys were just completely silent about this.
Yeah.
Just make a silent, fuck you to Trump. We're not even going to acknowledge that the invitation came, and just not even say that we want to go or not. I wonder if that would even piss him off even more, not to be in the news cycle at all.
To piss him off is don't even say, in a NHL, if Washington wins, if they don't say nothing and just don't show up, that will fuck him up. But as long as you go out there and say, "Oh, yeah," you're warning him. Yeah, I don't think I'm going this year. Yeah, fuck him. Then he's gonna. He's going to disinvite everybody.
So you're saying don't give him energy?
Don't give him energy. Just, if you're not going to go, don't say nothing. Yeah. Just don't show the fuck up.
But clearly this is more about Trump making it about himself and not the anthem policy that came out last week that he's getting all the credit for. Yeah, at least in his own mind.
Yeah, it's always about Trump.
Like what's the quote? Let me see. We're going to have a different kind of ceremony. Honor our great country, great tribute to the heroes who fight and protect it, and loudly play the national anthem. So you're saying the Pledge of Allegiance, essentially, that's what's happening? Like, okay, we're going to play the national anthem, and that's it? Like, I can't even see the Philadelphia Eagles. Like, what is
and apparently, if you don't put your hand over your heart during the anthem, you're putting treason in Trump's eyes.
Exactly.
So it's can't win.
It's ridiculous. But I thought Malcolm Jenkins hit the nail on the head when he's like, Torrey Smith, he's continuing to spread the false narrative that NFL players are anti-military. And that was never the case. That's never true.
Hey. You see him do that to the NBA.
Oh, because they clap back on him?
No. He just don't like football.
He's still bitter about the USFL lawsuit and not getting the bills yet.
The man does not like football. Look, there's one thing he did with Obama. He changed everything but that basketball court. You know, the basketball court is still in there.
Is it?
Yes.
And Trump has no idea where it is located.
That's the only thing he kept with the Obama administration.
Oh, actually, Trump kind of has a jump shot with the paper towel.
That's all I was just about to say.
He's a basketball fan, so you ain't got to worry about this basketball.
What'd you say with the paper towels? Gooseneck?
Gooseneck. He was hitting him with that stuff. I should not be laughing at that. That was the funniest shit ever.
I should not be laughing at that.
Goddamn Agent Orange.
But keeping things in Philadelphia, who seems to be having an outstanding year, unless you're Brian Colangelo, because last week, The Ringer reported that the Philadelphia 76ers GM executive was behind these burner accounts on Twitter that were calling out his star players like Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, as well as revealing physical information that involved Jahlil Okafor. And now that report has caused the Philadelphia 76ers to hire the law firm of Paul & Weiss to investigate the connection between basketball operations executive Brian Colangelo and those secret Twitter accounts. Now, there's been a lot of different speculation. He's linked it to his wife. The phone numbers that were connected to these separate burner accounts ended in 9-1. If I'm not mistaken, Brian Colangelo's wife had a 9-1 number. So it's all these different things. So Gil, obviously Philadelphia trusts the process in many ways than one. What do you think about them hiring a law firm to investigate this matter at hand?
I mean, that's the show that they're serious about this type of stuff.
So how do you think it should end?
They have to be careful anyway, because you're not going to really tie it to him. He already said it was his wife, which we all know that she probably don't know nothing about basketball. She probably don't have no fucking clue about what's going on with the basketball.
You saying Barbara Colangelo ain't talking about Jahlil Okafor's physical and he fell in that?
No. So what ends up happening is, if you try to terminate him, wrongful termination lawsuit is going to be against them. So they have to tread lightly anyway. So it's probably going to be.
Here's the thing.
He's not going to get renewed if he stayed. That's all.
Yeah, Kat, there's no way he can bounce back from this, especially being the head of basketball operations and coming and relieving taking over for a guy that's beloved in the city and Sam Hinkie. He has to go at this point, right?
I think, how will it end? I don't really know, because obviously the investigation could turn up some different things, and maybe you can hide behind the fact that, maybe this is Barbara, his wife's account, and obviously Brian was feeding her information that she was going with, and maybe they were in cahoots in some way, shape, or form. How should it end? If there's any way that he was leaking information that got out in a public domain like that, he has to be fired. But I will contend with you that the fact that he is a Colangelo and the fact that he's a track record, I still think that even if he gets fired, he can some way, shape, and form still be a consultant, still be a member of the NBA. And if he gets kicked out, if the Sixers fans aren't raising hell to get Sam Hinkie back there, running the organization and doing his thing again, then I have lost all faith in humanity, because it's just like, bring Hinkie back.
Right. He's not going to get kicked out, one, because the other 29 teams doing it too.
Listen.
They're all 29 teams talking
shit about their player. In some way, shape, or form, they're doing that, yes, but not on Twitter.
I mean, arguably the second best player in the NBA who's tied to burner accounts recently. Gil, let's say that Barbara Colangelo is behind these burner accounts on Twitter, as you roll your eyes. I'm just posing a hypothetical.
How many games has she been to?
Listen.
You can't answer that question.
If she is behind it, I applaud her for saying, Ben Simmons, shoot a three, you coward, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's really be honest here. How many wives of executives like that actually come to games?
I haven't seen many.
Not many.
I haven't seen many.
Not
And also, too, like, he was clowning on people that were getting on him about his collar. So you know that was him that he was talking about.
But maybe if the wife is picking out the collars for him.
Good point.
Maybe you got to defend her.
His wife is spending her daily duty time
buying him dress shirts
on the internet.
Well, department stores are still around.
Yeah. She's swiping that credit card. She ain't worried about no fucking internet.
So let's pose this hypothetical, right? Let's say she is behind the secret burner accounts. Gil, if Colangelo gets fired, is it fair for a team to hold a person accountable for the actions of their friends and family?
No,
it's not fair. As you nod, it is fair.
It's fair because if he's the one leaking the information, they're getting it from him, and they're going public with it. Then yes, he should be held responsible.
Okay,
Big facts.
You cannot be leaking out injury information about your star players.
He's not leaking out. He's doing it himself. He just threw her under the bus.
He's trying to fake leak it.
Yeah, he's throwing her in the bus because they can't do nothing to her.
Yeah.
So all she has to do is says, "I'm sorry, you guys. It was me."
But again, if he's feeding her the information, then that's a got-to-go situation.
But here's the bigger issue, right? Is the fact that he's trying to soil Joel Embiid's name. So whatever the end game is, I think Gil hit it first when you have to kind of start paying players these max contracts, and you have to kind of give de facto like he's the leader of this team. And also, Colangelo didn't draft Joel Embiid. That was Sam Hinkie's guy. So I don't know if he's trying to just soil his name in any way and trying to create something. Who knows?
It's one of those things where it's
like don't rock the boat.
Like if you're upstairs and that's not your guy, and you just see the shit he's doing, it just probably just irritates you.
Yeah.
Eating grapes, on the court.
Eating Chick-fil-A
watching like fucking get in the back and do that shit. Like it just probably irritates him as a guy up top. If Ben was doing it and he drafted Ben, it's fine. So it's Joel. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking.
But even if Joel's a great player, and you didn't draft him, but he's a great player on the franchise that you're running, that still bothers you? If you're Colangelo, that still irks you?
It's not your guy. It's not your guy. That's how people are. I'm like, he's a liability. He's not my guy, and I'm not going to build around him. I'm building around the guy I bring in.
That makes sense.
It's the same way in college, baseball, football, NBA. And
that's why I don't understand, like, when it comes to college, how kids commit in the 9th grade and the 10th grade.
Stupid.
That's stupid.
They just decommit 2 years later. So
it's like,
we know why.
No, but it's still, like the coach that got you there, he might not be there when you get there.
No, but they give him that bag.
Yeah. All right, more social media shenanigans to get through in the association, this time involving Steven Adams liking a Instagram post that slammed Carmelo Anthony. So the Thunder big man Steven Adams claims that he accidentally liked an IG comment that was critical of his teammate Melo, and on a post featuring 4 Thunder players, Adams, Anthony, Russ, and PG. There was a caption that said, "Who's more valuable to OKC?" And Adams liked a comment that said, "All of them except Melo." Adams later unliked the comment, and he reached out to Thunder PR on Monday morning to alert them, claiming it was an accident made while scrolling through his feed because he has, quote, fat fingers. Obviously, Melo's in a little bit of a limbo situation with the Thunder. Had a terrible first year with them. He has a player option for next season that will pay him over $28 million that he most likely will not opt out of unless he's absolutely out of his goddamn mind. So question for you guys is, do you believe, first and foremost, do you believe Steven Adams' excuse that his fat fingers caused him to like a negative comment about Melo?
Here's where there's so many holes in his story, right? So this reminds me of when a person gets hacked. They say they got hacked, but only one tweet was released. If you're going to get hacked or say you accidentally like something, go scroll through and just like random other things. Like where the guy's mentioning somebody else, go like random stuff. But when you only like one that says all of them except Melo, seems intentional. Are you caught in a trance? What's going on?
Wait. Who picked this up? Because no one can see the stuff they can't see like comments.
You can see like if there's a comment and it says 3 likes, you can click on it and you can see who likes it.
Oh.
Yeah. So don't be like.
So someone called them.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens. I'll be scrolling and then see some wild shit. And I think what ends up happening is you want to see who said the wild shit. And you click on it. And sometimes when you're clicking, it ends up liking it.
Gotcha.
I get that. But I'm pretty sure he liked it.
There's all been, yes.
Which is fine. Which is fine because he probably thinking just how I just tried to, explain it, that no one sees me likes this shit. So I'm going to like it.
We can all see it. But I think this is the second time this offseason where members of the Thunder have been kind of like leaving Melo out. I think there was a situation where right after the season and the Thunder lost to the Jazz, Paul George was like, I'm going to go talk to everybody. And he mentioned a lot of players on the team. except Melo. So I think this might be the second moment that
I think the most interesting aspect of this is the fact that we know that Steven Adams reached out to Thunder PR immediately. Did he reach out to Melo immediately?
Listen,
we don't know right now.
I'm at this point, I don't think Melo gives two shits about
He don't care.
Like, how much is he getting next year?
$28 million.
How much is Adams?
If he opts in.
How much is Adams getting?
How much is Steven Adams getting?
Yeah,
Not $28 million.
Okay, listen, he can like all the shit. He wants to like. I mean, that's just one of them things. Like, I, as a player, I don't give a shit what you like.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't be offended if your teammate liked a comment that was negative about you.
Check still clear.
No.
All right. So then
I wasn't planning to pass him the ball any fucking.
Okay, but put yourself in a regular human shoes for a second. How would that affect your relationship with two teammates if you, again, liked a negative comment about them and he's definitely coming back?
I mean, the locker room there is fucked up anyway. I mean, the fans, the players, they probably don't like, what Melo brung last year anyway. Basically looked like he gave up in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure Melo doesn't want to be there because that offense wasn't designed for him. So both parties probably just don't want to coexist anyway next year. So it really don't even matter.
Here's what's going to happen. I think this is Melo's destiny. I think the season will start. He'll pick up this option of $28 million. Him and Oklahoma City Thunder will negotiate some type of buyout. Mm-hmm. If it's 50%, he'll get $14 million. I think he'll be cool with 14. Oh, he wants 70%?
He wants it all.
He wants 80%? I thought buyouts work on negotiation of like the percentage.
It's a negotiation. Remember, hey, listen, you don't want me here either, okay? You don't want me here either, so you're going to have to give me at least 22, maybe 20.
Okay.
Anything under 20, you can fuck off.
That's fair.
I'll sit here with a hurt elbow
and I think
fracture.
I think he takes that buyout and goes and becomes a nice stretch floor for Houston.
He's not going to Houston.
Why not?
Where's he going?
Where's he going to go?
LeBron. He's going to LeBron, bro.
They get exiled at the trade deadline, a la D Wade?
No. He's going to LeBron.
Okay.
LeBron needs his shooting and his...
Well, LeBron's going to Sixers, right?
Hell no.
I just want to see the reaction, yeah.
He ain't going to...
to
Houston will be a good fit for him.
All
right.
But he'll go LeBron, has a better chance of winning the ring.
But training camp starts, he's on the Thunder.
Said a yes, no.
Okay.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
I doubt it.
Can you make that a gift?
I doubt it.
We will. Yeah.
I doubt it. I doubt it. I don't think he'll be in. I mean, I don't see it. They'll try to get him, out as soon as possible.
I mean, who knows? Paul George might not even be in OKC next year.
He won't.
He won't.
Wow. Okay.
This guy.
Exactly. What do you think you are over there? Yeah.
Water's wet.
All right, keeping it moving. Have to ask the question, is the NBA about to start allowing coaching challenge? We're going to discuss that in Fair or Foul. So breaking news over the interwebs, the association plans to use the Vegas Summer League this summer to experiment with a system that will allow coaches to challenge referees' calls. Sunday on SiriusXM NBA Radio, NBA Executive Vice President of Basketball Operations Kiki Vandeweghe said this about the potential, quote, "The competition committee has been trying to figure out how we actually do this because there's some complications. It's not quite as simple as you might imagine. We've had it in the G League for a number of years now, and it's been very effective. We're going to try it in a limited form in the Summer League, and we're going to see how it goes. We're going to let everybody look at it," unquote. The league has used the Summer League, obviously in the G League, as Kiki Vandeweghe noted, to test out these rule changes in the past. And even if the system is a success in Las Vegas, Vandeweghe said that the NBA is unlikely to adopt any new challenge system into the upcoming season. Mm-hmm. So guys, fair or foul about implementing some coaches' challenge system going forward in the next few years with the NBA?
I mean, the only question I have is, what type of calls?
We don't know those details.
Just
right
any
now.
calls?
Yeah. They have to work that out, obviously.
Because, if you're a coach and you got two of them, you're just going to save it for the fourth quarter. Last 1 minute when one of the refs try to screw you, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure because, I don't...
Yeah, here's my question about it all. In the NBA, timeouts are so precious, right? They're a very precious thing. And also, they're intertwined with the TV timeout. So after a certain minute, you lose a timeout if you have so many. So my question is, when you have these challenges, and let's say you challenge one time and you lose that challenge, is it like the NFL where you lose a timeout, you lose a second challenge?
But
what happens?
Okay, what is
There's, again, a lot to be figured out right now.
Is this just a challenge charging, and he called a charge, and then the ref, and then a player, the coach, I want to challenge that.
Yeah.
Is that what they're doing? Because, once the ref challenges himself, and they go to the little scoreboard and they look at it. What is the purpose?
I mean, again, there's a lot of hypotheticals in the situation, but do you think in the grand scheme of things, it's a good thing for the league that is already experiencing a ton of delays with the game with these massive replays in the final 2 minutes of these contests,
No, I think
making these games longer, more laborious, and boring?
Because this only comes in the last 2 minutes. And I think it's going to slow the game down. It's going to slow down the momentum but something needs to happen because there was one call with LeBron James. It happened actually in the Indiana series too, but the charging where they called a charge, and then they went to review the film.
Change it to a block.
Yeah, they went to review the film to see if LeBron was out of the paint. That was what they were looking for. Okay, the fact that he was out of the paint, charge stands. But they said, he's moving now. Well, that's not what you were looking for.
I mean,
you were looking for if he was out of the circle and you made the call, so the call stands. Now he's leaning and moving. That's not what you were looking for. So how do you just change the whole fucking call?
Yeah,
I don't like that.
To me, I'm calling foul on this because we see already the replay instituted in the final 2 minutes. And as I just said earlier, these games are just taking so much longer. And we've seen replay overtake the NFL. We've seen it overtake Major League Baseball now. Replay's been a part of the NHL for a while, but I don't think it's as much of a fabric the way it is becoming football and baseball. And we just don't need it. There's a human element to these games.
Yes.
Let the refs make the call. Yeah. Are we gonna have robot umpires, referees in the near future? Probably not. But we don't need more stoppage of game time. This fucks up the flow of the game. Let the call stand. Deal with it. And I get that it may cost some guys money here and there. But you know what? There are humans doing this. Okay. There has to be a human element to it. Just live with it.
But I think it stops rigged games. I think that's why they're doing it.
What games are rigged?
All of them. No, I mean, it stops a referee from throwing the game if you're allowed to go challenge it. So it kind of stops that. And I think that's what they're doing. When people run out, this shit is fixed, you're fixing it, you're cheating for LeBron. I mean, you're cheating against LeBron. The play where he caught the ball and two players ran into him and tripped him and they didn't call anything. No, fucker. No. Give me back that. That's a foul.
Refs actually came out today and said they kind of missed that one. I think if there is challenges in this league, there has to be a trade-off. So I'm curious if the challenge system, y'all was weird. Y'all drank that at the same, y'all were synced together. That was spooky just now.
Clearly, I've been doing this since the beginning. So you're on the.
You're saying, okay, all right.
I was fucking thirsty.
I think if the challenge system does come, the NBA has to wipe away the hacker shack or the hacker DeAndre, where that elongates the game even more. So if you eliminate that, you bring this in.
Fuck all that. Eliminate the refs. Give every player a whistle. You blow your own fucking fouls.
The games will last 6 hours.
Yeah, that's it.
You never have a call.
How many fist fights there would be?
Exactly. Yeah.
We're square, right?
All right, but real talk. What is more important to you guys? The refs getting the call right or the flow of the game?
It depends.
I'm more concerned with the flow of the game.
Depends on the stage.
It depends where. If we could have blown that, we could have threw a flag on fucking LeBron's 3 travels and those 3 wins, fucking we would have did it. But I mean, at the end of the day,
well, apparently, according to you, we could have a challenge on every single LeBron drive.
But at the end of the day, whatever the call is, it is. It's just one of those things.
I think
because they're going to be challenged. I mean, you're going to be challenging everything. You're going to be challenging, a Klay Thompson's 3rd foul in the first half. You're like, oh no, I want to challenge that. Let me see. They're going to be loose. They're going to fuck the flow of the game up.
Yeah. I mean, I think it all depends on the stage. So I'm all for the flow of the game during the regular season. But if you get to a point like the NBA Finals or something where there's legacies on the line, this matters. You got to kind of bring the challenges in there. I think it depends.
Think about that last 2 minutes. That means you have refs can look at plays and you got 2 challenges on this side, 2 challenges on this side. That 2 minutes is gonna last fucking 45
Or maybe
minutes.
when it gets under, maybe guys can challenge all game with 2, and the last 2 minutes it only has 1 challenge. Maybe you do that way. Who knows?
Ooh, I'll be pissed off if
you lose the challenge.
If I challenge the travel, then something happened at the end of the game and I can't challenge it.
Just say no to more replay.
Yeah, that would be interesting. But fellas, another great show in the books. For Adam Caparell, Gilbert Arenas, I'm Pierce Simpson. We'll see you once again tomorrow. This is Out of Bounds. Your defensive discipline, horrendous. I was watching some of your highlights the other day. For whatever reason, you would love the double on the drive. They kick to the corner, 3-pointer. That happened 4 plays in a row. What's up with that?
You know what? A rule in the NBA is? Don't leave the corner.
And you left every time. Every time.
Because he's dribbling with his left. They're dribbling with their left hand, and that's their weak hand. So,
But here's the thing. You wouldn't even be close to getting the ball.
Listen, my mind moved faster. Like, I was fast as shit, but my mind was faster than that. So I felt like I thought I was fucking Flash. Like, dribble, I got it.
Yo, it's them Kobe highlights, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna attack Kobe at the elbow. Kobe's just gonna kick it to the corner where Gil's man was.
Yeah.
How the hell would they actually have these challenges on the NBA? Like, what are you gonna do? Like,
who knows?
Yo!
yeah, it's like, what do you do? It's like,
challenge!
Yeah.
Hey, fam, listen.
Throw the flag on the floor.
Yeah, it's like
Somebody slip on it, and then
you throw a towel onto the court. Like, what the hell do you
can you
do?
imagine Draymond cussing out Steve Kerr to get a challenge? Oh, that's gonna be.
He's gonna be the most challenged player.
Yeah,
Watch. Oh yeah, shit like that.